Pay a little extra money, fly first class. What it does is it conditions your mind. Once you sit in first class one time, the next time you get on a plane, it's very difficult to walk past them seats. And then your mind starts thinking of ways to get back to first class.
You may or may not have seen this quote before, but this is something that's definitely going viral. In fact, I've had multiple friends that have gone out, booked first class tickets, had a blast, and I just wanted to share some of my thoughts on this quote. First of all, let me say, Steve Harvey definitely has brought so much joy into our family's life. My dad absolutely loves Family Feud. He probably watched it like every day for years. Literally, every day he would sit down and watch Family Feud. I've probably memorized the majority of the shows. We actually, even as a family, auditioned for Family Feud. So look, just shout out, Steve, if you ever do see this. Number one, love you. Number two, we would love to get on your show. Now, in terms of this quote, let me start off by saying I do see what Steve is talking about in terms of having a vision, experiencing the finer things in life, and then once you've experienced that, using that as the fuel to make decisions to get you to make that a lifestyle instead of just like a one-time thing. At the same time, I'm thinking about the economy. I'm thinking about inflation going up. I'm thinking about all that's going on in the world right now. I'm thinking about the market, how the stock market has been going down, how crypto has been going down. Overall, there's been a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of talk about a recession. And so I wanted to give some thoughts. When you take a look at the average American has less than $1,000 in savings. I'm not here to say what's right, what's wrong for you, but if you do not meet the following criteria, you might want to think twice about what Steve Harvey said. Number one, if you don't have 12 months of savings in your emergency fund, you might want to think twice. A lot of people say different things. Some people say you should have 3 months of savings. Some people say that you should have 4 months of savings. Some people say 6 months. Some people say a year. Some people say multiple years. So really, ultimately, the number of months of emergency fund savings that you should have is debatable. It's relative. So I'm not going to sit here and say 12 months is that solid number. I personally, at a minimum, think that it's good to have at least 12 months of savings if you're going to make that type of luxurious investment. If you want to create that type of luxurious experience, it might be worthwhile to have 12 months of savings, because who knows, when you come back, you might lose your job and you might be like, oh my gosh, where's my money? Number two, let's just say that you do have a 6-figure job. Maybe you are a doctor, maybe you are a finance, whatever it is, you have 6 figures. Maybe you're a content creator that's doing the thing, okay? Ultimately, maybe you have 6 figures, but how have your saving habits been? How have your investment habits been? And I say this to say, I have been laid off twice, okay? I know what it means to have a good job, to have flowing income, and then to all of a sudden have it cut off. So simply just having a 6-figure job or a job that pays you enough to live a comfortable life that you love, just having that job without having savings still puts you in territory that may cause some type of financial insecurities in the future depending on what happens. What I like to say is, if you have a 6-figure job, if you had a 6-figure job for the last couple of years, you should have 6 figures of savings or liquid investments outside of your 401k. A lot of times people are like, okay, well, I've arrived, I have my 6-figure job, let me just go out and spend your money. If you have not saved appropriately, then that might be a priority before taking that advice and getting that first class ticket. Number 3, if you are looking to get this first class ticket with a credit card and you don't plan on paying off that credit card by the end of the month or the end of the period, whenever that credit card bill is due, then that is something to also consider. It's obvious that maybe you don't have that money at that point in your life. So maybe you might want to reconsider and do something else, such as not buying the ticket. If you have a credit card and you're planning on using that credit card, but you don't have enough money to pay that back once that money is due, and you're gonna be paying high interest on that credit card, then is it really worth it? Are you really in a position? Ask yourself, are you really in a position to be able to go ahead and buy a first class ticket? Look, there's nothing wrong with wanting a luxurious lifestyle, and I'm not saying what is right or wrong. I just want to give you another perspective. There's something called delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is essentially understanding that you're working hard now for something that's going to happen in the future. Now, someone could say, okay, well, you're working hard now, but go ahead and experience your future now. That's not what delayed gratification is. Delayed gratification would be essentially waiting until you've worked hard and then experiencing that. I'm not saying don't enjoy your life. Okay, that's definitely not what I'm saying. I think it's so important to have fun, have a good time, enjoy your life, but at the same time, balance, right? If you are the type of person that, like, once you buy that ticket, it's on and you are about to make $1 million in like 2 weeks, then maybe that's something for you. But a lot of times, especially if you're starting off as an entrepreneur, for the majority of people that have long-term success, it takes time, it takes trial and error. Sometimes you make mistakes. This is really just adding another perspective. Ultimately, live your life, have fun, make the best decisions for yourself. This is something to consider if you are looking to get a first class ticket in the near future.